Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. We're coming at you.
Coming at you.
Poolside. Coming at you poolside.
This is where we come, the pool is where we come to brainstorm. We have like these brainstorming sessions. I don't know what it is, if it's the water. Can you guys hear the water in the background?
It's the weather too, and the palm trees. And,
well, it's all of it, but the water, something about the pool and the environment.
The zen,
very zen.
The zen feeling of the water, the running water. It reminds me of when I meditate.
Totally. And then we just get these brainstorms and we start like, I got this idea. You got this idea. Oh my God, let's do it. And then he has his notebook and we're writing and it's so fun. Julie, what's up? As you guys are hopping on, say what's up, say hi. And we're going to talk about,
What's up, Gabe?
it's hard to see this.
How you doing, brother?
Hi, Gabe. Thanks for being on. We're going to keep this one short and sweet because we're long-winded, or I'm long-winded. I could talk for a minute. So we're going to keep that under wraps, and we're just going to stay really focused on the topic, which is change your mind, or change your thoughts, change your life. And as cliche as that sounds, hey, Renette.
Hey, what's up, Renette?
Girl? As cliche as that sounds, and like, oh, whatever, we've heard it before a million times, it is truth. It's
true.
Straight up truth. And
people don't realize it because they're brainwashed by their habitual mind or habitual thinking. So that is the operating system that is running in the background that you live your life by most of the time. And so you don't realize that those subconscious thoughts were programmed in your brain, which is like a computer or a tape recorder, and it stores and plays back everything that you've experienced in your life over and over again, and then you have more experiences that reinforce that and more that reinforce that, and it just keeps going on and on and on until you get to a point where
where you realize. So we did a post about this. So here's what we've been doing, and what we started doing is we basically rebranded our business. We had OCD Fit, which was obsessive commitment and dedication to fitness. But we went through a little bit of a transformation within that because there is so much to say about mindset work and the mind-body-spirit connection, and the importance of that work in a physical transformation, in changing your body, changing your nutrition, all of that stuff. And in order to stick with it and have long-lasting results, like, you have to change the operating system. So we rebranded our old business that we've had for 4 years now, since we sold our CrossFit gym, to Transformational Living, because we looked at this as, this is an evolution.
It's not about the gym. It's not just about the gym.
It's not about the gym.
It's not about the gym you go to and what you do in
workouts.
the gym, the workout. It's not just about that. It's not just about how you eat and what you eat, because everything that is out there more or less works. Every exercise program, for the most part, has some sort of it works to an extent. Every nutrition intervention works to an extent. What doesn't work, and why people fail over and over again, myself included, and we're not bashing anybody because I've done this over my entire lifetime. This is what got me into fitness in the first place when I was 13, was not sticking to or finding what the mindset was that, one, you need to change, and what is the mindset you need in order to get to where you want to be.
The mindset's the driver. So your mindset is driving the boat.
Unfortunately, it's subconscious most of the time.
It's driving the ship, right? So if the ship is going in this direction, you want to go there, but you haven't changed the programming, the GPS. You haven't changed the GPS. You might have your eye on, like, that's where I want to be, but the GPS is old and outdated. The GPS is saying, wait, but that
address isn't wrong.
Yeah, it's going to try to move you towards what your brain, your subconscious mind knows and is comfortable with, where it feels comfortable, what it knows, what's certain, right? What's certain is what you've always done.
Absolutely.
But unfortunately, what you've always done has gotten you to where you are, which, if you're not happy where you are, there we go, right? Mm. So if you change your thoughts, change your life, really means
and then
literally.
The other thing with that is, when we are stuck, and I have been stuck, and Lisa has been stuck, is when you are there.
I still have some stuckedness going on.
Well, yeah, I'll say that. Just kidding. But no, when you are stuck, what do? You look to pin the responsibility or a blame or justify why you're stuck on something else
because
outside of you,
them.
whether it's another person or something that happened to you. And that doesn't get you anywhere. You know, you have to look inside, and you have to consciously make a choice to change your thoughts, which is not as easy as it sounds. It does require daily work.
So what we've been doing is, with this whole transformational living new name, it's really just a new name. It's rebranded, same business, but new name, and a little bit more focus on the spiritual side, the you as a spirit, you as an energy, the essence of who you are, and getting back to that, instead of focusing so much on what do I look like, what do I do for a profession, how do people see me, who am I in the world, what have I accomplished. All of those things are great.
For 25
great,
years,
but
that's not your identity.
That's not your identity.
That's
those
not
are things...
who you really are. That's some things that you do. Like for 25 years, I identified myself as Chris Lupo, the personal trainer, or the strength and conditioning coach. I identified myself with that profession.
Yep.
That wasn't necessarily me. I did help people.
It's just what you
but
did.
My true purpose is helping people. That's just what I did.
That
That's
was
what I was good
one
at.
vehicle
Right.
of living that out. But you could have a purpose, and there could be many different avenues you take to live out that purpose.
Right.
You know, so basically getting back to kind of like what we're doing with transformational living is, you know, we're putting out quotes that are moving us, and ideas, not just quotes, but ideas that we're implementing in our own life. And
What's up, Jerry?
hi, Jerry. So hey, what's up? So we're putting out ideas that we're working on, things that we're learning, that we're literally implementing, and we're literally like coming up against. I mean, we have had more. What do you want to call them?
It's just
little like
they're actually gifts, but they're,
right?
but they're like hiccups where you know it's a test.
Little things where we kind of poke at each other, or you're doing this personal work, and it's shit comes up. Your shit comes up, and we're not numb to it. We're teaching it, and we can help people. We know we can help people, but if we're not doing it ourselves, and we're not going through the trenches and dealing with the shit that comes up between couples, like, how can we ever serve you? How can we ever help another couple or another person?
We're sharing our experience and how we get through all that.
We've even thought about reenacting some of the events we've had, because they've been pretty funny, like looking at the before and after of like the mindset shift. Before the mindset shift, this is how we interact, and after the mindset shift, this is how we choose to react, or will create new habits around.
Well, you become, once you get into it and you start doing it regularly and you're consistent with it, you become better at recognizing things kind of before they happen. Like an event will come up.
Catch yourself.
You catch yourself. Driving is something that I can relate to, because that's something that's always in the past stressed me out, and I've gotten a lot better at, we've talked about this before, not getting sucked into the rat race, not getting sucked into feeling like you have to get somewhere really fast, and even if someone's riding your ass, just pull over, let them go. They got somewhere to be.
Take a deep breath. It's all good. It's all
Hey, Val.
good. So back to, we're posting, love you guys, your authenticity and bluntness. Thank you, Valerie. It's how you gotta roll, right? Like, here's the thing. Thank you for that. And the reason that I think that comes, I don't want to say easy for us, but why we feel so compelled to just be real about what's going on and how we're implementing things, is because
we've been there.
That's how I learn. I am so grateful to everybody who I've watched on Facebook Live or video or YouTube or whatever, who has been real and authentic, and they talk about the real stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Right.
They talk about the stuff that, hey, yeah, I'm going to put out this inspirational quote and I'm going to tell you all about this, but at home we're fighting tooth and nail because we don't get along. Well, there's no reality behind that, right?
We're two different people. Everybody's two different people, so that's gonna happen. It's recognizing.
But the relatability comes when you can be real and vulnerable and authentic, and you let other people feel like they're human. Like, okay, my husband and I fight too. Okay, I don't always drive with the most calm, energy either. I'm not alone, or like
she
with me,
drive a lot,
with my, I'm talking about them seeing you talk about it, saying they relate.
Gotcha.
They feel more human when they hear you talking about that, because they say, okay, he has road rage, I have road rage. There's a solution.
Had.
He's getting better. He really is getting but anyway, thank you for that, Valerie.
It's more road aggravation now, but it's not even aggravation.
But now it's road zen, because he's
road zen.
He's
now.
like,
Totally
literally, you guys will be driving. In fact, we took some video of this yesterday. We're driving down the street, and he's, this person cuts you off, whatever, and goes into this like ready to spiral out into this like road rage thing, and puts on Wayne Dyer, and immediately like, okay, zen.
Well, you identify the trigger or the source of your previous whatever it is.
Yeah. So getting back to what we're doing, we're just sharing the ideas that we're putting out there, the stuff that we're learning, and how we are implementing it. So today, the quote that I shared on our Instagram and our Facebook, our Chris and Lisa Lupo Facebook page, was a Wayne Dyer quote, and it says, "Hello, Chris and Lisa.
Hey, what's
great."
up?
Who is that?
Just...
Oh, hey, what's up? And it says, the state of your life is nothing more. The state of your life is nothing more than a reflection of the state of your mind. So again, go back to the title, change your thoughts, change your life. And it really comes down to what Chris was talking about earlier, is that habitual mind. And really the first step is awareness. The first step is going, I'm doing this. I'm saying things that are not in alignment with where I wish to go. I'm thinking things that are what I don't want.
And those are called limiting beliefs or blocks. All right. So we all have limiting beliefs or blocks that basically we've convinced ourselves as being true. And it's only true because you believe it. It's not necessarily factual. It's belief. It's all belief. And you've reinforced these beliefs over and over again, which we mentioned earlier, through habitual programming. So
yep.
It's identifying that these things are beliefs, and
they can be changed.
And not only that they are, but that at times when you go to change, sometimes your habitual mind will pop stuff in there as resistance, so you won't change. Right? It'll try to keep you safe.
Tries to pull you back, reel you back in. And if you've ever been in a situation where you tried to break through in some area of your life, right? Like I can give an example in my business. Over the last 7 years, there have been times where you come up against this wall of, on the other side of it is personal development. It's growth. It's a challenge or an obstacle that keeps showing up. The lesson repeats until it keeps showing up, because there's something you have to learn from so that you can grow, right? And if you've ever been in that situation where you're like, why do I keep coming up against this same block? Why do I find myself wanting to push forward, and I push and I push and I push, and then I come up against the same wall and I go right back?
It's comfortable.
And I push against and I go right back, and I push, and you keep coming up against the same wall. Well, all that is what's happening is you're growing, right? You're growing, you're changing, you're shifting, you're expanding your mind. And your subconscious mind goes, hey, wait a second. Your subconscious mind is that wall that comes up. And it goes, whoa. Stop. Where do you think you're going? Mm-hmm. You've always been overweight. And I'm just giving examples. You've always been overweight. You've always been broke. You've always struggled in this area. You've always had a lack of confidence. You've always done this for a job. You've always blah, blah, name anything. Okay? And your subconscious mind goes, no, you're not this new person that you are trying to become. You're the overweight, broke, whatever the story is.
Self-conscious,
whatever.
Low self-esteem, whatever it is.
That's who you are. You go back to who you are. That's your subconscious mind saying, this is the programming that you've given us, that you've given me. So I'm here to keep you safe. I'm here to keep you where it's comfortable. Your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what's good for you or what's bad for you. It only knows what you put in the hard drive.
My subconscious mind is telling me DJ Red Alert because there's a bee over there, and from my past experience with bees, you'll see me run faster than I've ever run in my life.
And his subconscious programming is that he's afraid of bees.
Yeah.
But if you really look at it, like, what's the worst case scenario? Worst case scenario, you get stung and you have a little anaphylactic, whatever it's called, reaction. We go to the hospital and we learn something. We grow. We grow. Out of challenge comes opportunity.
Yeah.
So anyway, the point being that if you keep hitting up against these same walls, and you're like smack, like a bird hitting a window, smack, and you just keep going back to the same spot. All that is...
Which is actually, what's the word?
I don't know, but all that is, hold on, hold that thought. All that is your subconscious mind trying to protect you, right? And the way through that wall is to continue to say, no, stop. That's the old programming.
I'm 49, so I have word recollection issues. The word is symbolic.
Memory issues?
Birds hitting windows is symbolic for certain things. And so that's exactly what that is.
Yeah. So anyway, what we talked about today in our post was that the way that you rewire the brain, the way that you start to rewire and you start to recognize when those things come and the wall hits you and you're like, I can't go any further because it feels hard, because that's growth, is that you start to just become aware of your thoughts. You start to just become aware of what you're thinking, what you're habitually thinking, or when something triggers you, where does your mind go? And is that thought or that thing you're saying or whatever you're believing, is that serving you? Is it rewarding? If it's not rewarding, if it's not serving you, if it is not in alignment with your ultimate goal, your dream, your desire, even if you don't totally believe in your dreams, you have them, you see them. If it's not in line with that, then we have to change the story. So we have to then go, stop, that's not what I believe anymore. My new belief is, there is always enough to live the life I choose. This is one of the things that I say whenever I find myself coming up against, we don't have enough money, or a bill comes in and, oh gosh, this was unexpected. And I go, great, how are we going to do this, right? In my mind, I go into lack. I go into a lack mindset, scarcity mindset, because that's my story. That's something that I'm working on. So one of my money doesn't grow on trees. We've all heard it growing up, right? You have to really work hard to be successful. Only people that are lucky are wealthy. Like, there's all these stories that we have around money, right? And so the old story is, that's expensive. We can't afford it. I'm never going to be able to afford what I want. Blah, 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 blah. Name any type of saying or belief that's not rewarding in that scenario. And you just switch it and you say, there's always enough to live the life I choose. I am attracting everything that I desire in my life. It's already on its way to me. Or this is too expensive.
It's not as simple as that. You have to do this.
You were on my shirt.
This is practice. This is just like brushing your teeth every day. It's not just something you just, it's that simple and you snap your fingers.
No, but that's how it starts.
Yes.
You start to become aware of your thought patterns and the things you're saying and correcting yourself. And that's not the solution, but it starts.
If you always do what you've always done, you always get what you've always got.
Tony Robbins.
That's Tony Robbins' quote, and that's coming up on the next.
That'll be another thing video we do. It's a similar conversation.
But it's more or less true.
So so what I was trying to get at with what I was saying was that sometimes this information can feel overwhelming for somebody that says, well, that's fine. I get that, change your thoughts, change your life. Like, great, better, easier said than done. Like, how do you do it? Well, what I was trying to say is this isn't going to fix you.
Change that thought.
This isn't going to fix you, but the first step is just being aware. Yeah. The very first step, you can't fix something that you're not aware of, right?
You have to be aware.
So we're not saying here's the golden ticket, you're going to be cured, just change your thoughts and you'll change your life. We're not saying that. We're saying that the way to start this process is to say, I am now aware that I'm doing and saying things that are not in alignment with where I choose to go. And that awareness just makes you present and more conscious to it so that you can then start doing the work, right? And then there's cord cutting and there's deeper things. There's coaching, the stuff that he does with his clients, right? That's deeper, the stuff that he learned from Reggie, that's deeper, that gets to the root of where do these beliefs come from? Let's get rid of them. Let's cut those cords. That's a practice. That's a whole nother thing. But what we can all do to start is just becoming more aware and start changing how you think about things and really challenge yourself to go, I'm going to look at this from a different perspective. I'm just going to stop for a second and say, this thought or this thing I always say has always gotten me to this place and I'm not happy here. So I'm going to try something different.
Picture yourself, kind of above a room you're in and observing either what you're saying or what you're doing or how you're acting, and it's kind of imagine yourself as observing this from the outside.
Yep.
And that's the first way to become aware of that.
And it takes being present and being conscious and not just operating on autopilot and we do that too. I mean, I did today. I was totally on autopilot, and he kind of called me out on that of like, hey, you're not present right now. Like, you're all over the place. You're doing this, but you're saying that, like, whatever. So that happens, right? We get into these things where we're just on autopilot, and it takes a little argument or a little tiff or something that doesn't go out how you wanted it to go for you to go, oh shit, okay, I did that. I created this, So self-awareness is
what's up, brother?
huge.
Phi Beta Kappa.
So we'll wrap it up because I
B.
know I've already probably talked too long. Yeah. This one nudges me. You guys, this is the funniest thing ever. He nudges me under the table. Like, instead of just being like, okay, let's wrap it up, he's like,
well, I'm trying to be polite.
Poking at me. Just tell me. Just be like, shh, let's wrap it up.
Wrap it up, B. All
right, back to the pool. We're going to go get some sun.
We'll talk to you later.
You guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye. Thanks for being on. And comment below if you guys have any questions or you want to share anything that is related to the topic. We'd love to hear from you. Okay? Bye, guys.